Do you remember about 3 months ago we bought these RGB LED strips from Huelite? Well, they saw the video and they gave me a new version of their product. It's called the Huelite 3.0. It's basically the same light with a few new features. So let's take a look. The box is largely the same, but there are a few differences in the components. They sent me the 5-meter variant, so there'll just be one 5-meter strip of LED in there. The adapter is different this time around. Last time around, the adapter was like a separate unit from the connector. The end connector is the same, but the adapter is different. However, the newer one is much shorter than the older one though. I wish the cable was longer with this one to match the length of the older one at least. That's what she said. The Wi-Fi module looks pretty similar, and since I ordered the 5-meter variant, I only get one outlet for the module. Usually there will be two if you order like the 10-meter variant, because there will be two strips. Since this is only one strip, there is just one connection. The LED strip looks almost the same, but the adhesive on the back looks a little bit thicker this time. They have a newer app as well. There's a QR code which you can scan, or you can just download Huelite 3 from the Play Store. Installation and pairing, everything is pretty much the same, so let's get on with it. It connects in the same way. There is an arrow indicator on either side of those connectors which has to be on the same side. I wish that arrow was a different color, like since this casing is black, I wish the arrow was white color so you can easily see it. I mean, it's not easy to see unless there is direct light on it. So Huelite, I know you're watching, please make that arrow a different color, like white color, so that it's easier to spot. So as soon as you turn it on, it'll start flashing from blue to green. In the app, it actually says orange to green. That's not true. It's blue and green. So that's just a small mistake. So if it is changing the color like that, it's ready to pair, meaning that the Wi-Fi module is emitting its own signal, which the app can use. So just click on next and enable GPS for some reason. It'll then automatically disconnect your home Wi-Fi and connect to that device's Wi-Fi temporarily. As soon as the device is detected, it'll just proceed on its own. Just wait for a few seconds. And then it'll scan for other networks like your home Wi-Fi network. It'll ask you for your password. Enter your password. It's pretty slow at this point. The connection for some reason takes a long time, but yeah, just wait for it to happen. It may take like 25 to 30 seconds as well, so yeah, be patient, but eventually it will say pairing success, after which you can set up the device. Just give it a name and then wait for it to come online. Now I had an issue for some reason, like the device was showing offline even though I just set it up right now, and that can happen sometimes. So the solution would be to reset the device and try again. But if you go to their help center and click on how to reset, it'll just reach this 404 error page. So I'll show you how to reset, but Huelite, you need to update that website. Like, you need to show people how to reset this. I figured it out on my own, so here's how to do it. First, delete the device that has been registered in the app. Once the app is completely fresh, now you can reset the hardware itself. To do that, switch on and switch off the Wi-Fi adapter 5 times consecutively, like on off 5 times. That sequence will reset that device and send it back into the bluish green pairing mode. I had that issue with my last LED strip, so I had to search all over the web. Thankfully, they use very similar components as other devices. So yeah, it's a similar process. So Huelite, please update that page in case people are looking at your own help page. It's giving them the 404 error, so they may not be able to connect to their device. But this is how you do it. So I paired once again, and this time, yeah, it worked. So I was really hoping that with the Huelite 3.0, their app would be better, but no, the app is, I mean, it's a newer app. The UI is a little bit better, but the functionality is still not great. So Huelite, if you could improve your app's reliability, that'll really improve the user experience. And that is the newest feature you see there, Music Sync. So it'll use your phone's microphones to analyze any kind of sounds that are going around in your room and change the LED's colors and brightness accordingly. Obviously, it doesn't have to be music, it can be any noise, and you can just turn that on and see for yourself. I'm not sure how it's deciding the frequency of those colors, like how often those colors should show up and how long they should show up. Maybe it's random, I guess, I'm not really sure. But it's an entertaining feature anyways. The app has to be open, obviously. Sometimes the app stops working in the background for some reason. Like, I open my music app and reduce the volume to see how much it'll respond. At lowest volume, obviously it stopped, but when I cranked it back up to 100, it did not start on its own. So I had to go back to the app and then it restarted. So yeah, there is some tuning needed. Even though the interface is good, the app is not very reliable, so it needs some work. And that Wi-Fi receiver that this thing has is pretty weak, like it loses signal very often, and that's why you see this device offline message a lot, even though it's right there, right behind me. But when it does work, it's fairly entertaining. The LEDs are good, the brightness is great. I'm happy with the colors. And in case you're wondering, yeah, they are cross compatible, meaning that if you already have Huelite's first version, like the one I have, you can still use this adapter with the older LED strip. After all, it's the adapter that has this newer functionality, and that's the one that pairs with the Huelite 3 app. So even an older LED strip that you currently have can still do the same things. Like it can still support the music sync feature. So if you have bought like 20 meters of older strip and now you're wondering, I have to buy it again, no, just buy the 5 feet version and use the adapter with the older one. You'll get all those features. And I had some small LED damage with my older strip for some reason, so I decided to replace that with this newer one. So yeah, it's good now. Thanks, Huelite. I'm not quite sure of the price. I think it's the same thing. So I'll leave a link in the description so you can check the latest pricing. And of course, if it is somewhat similar to the first version, then this would be a better choice. You'll get the music sync feature and slightly better RGB modes. So yeah, that's a better deal for the same price. Thanks again to Huelite for the upgrade. Let me know if you have any questions in the comments.